Boker Tov, good morning. Moadim l'simcha, Chagim uzmanim l'sason. We gather this morning on the first day of Pesach. Hopefully we got to celebrate with friends and family remotely or on back decks or safely distant from each other at Seder last night. And now we rejoice in our morning service. We're going to be using Mishkan Tefillah for festivals and weekdays, which you can find, again, on our website, on our YouTube channel, on the CCAR website as a free flip book. There's also a Kindle version available. We are going to be using the festival service, which I said before, which uses, if you have a paper copy, it uses the larger numbers. It assumes you have the large version, the doubled version of the book. So those are the page numbers I'm going to be calling up, and I'm going to invite you to follow along and join with on this morning service. So we will continue. We will begin by turning to page 418. And for those who are on Zoom with us, I'm going to ask you to stay muted unless you want to show up on the YouTube feed, which maybe you want to. That might be good too. But again, we're going to be on page 418 in Mishkan Tefillah for festivals as we join in singing Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu. Halecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu halecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. We'll continue on page 452. If you have Mishkan Tefillah for festivals with you, page 452 as we rise for the Baruch Hu. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai. Barechu et Adonai, Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Leolam, Leolam Vaed. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due, now and forever. We continue with Yotzer on page 454. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvorei choshech, Oseh shalom uvorei et hakol, Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha barachamim, Uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit, Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha, Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shavach ma'aseh yadecha, Va'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'aru chasela. Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir v'nizkeh hulanu mehera lo'oro. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer ha'me'orot. The top of 457. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher bi'amo Yisrael b'ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. We can be seated and we'll continue with the chanting of the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'b'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'sha'arecha Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'etem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem emet. On page 467, standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We have Mi Chamocha on the preceding page. Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Kamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Tehilot Osef Ele. Shira Chadasha Shibchu Geulim Leshimcha al Safat Hayam Yachad Kulam Hodu Hodu Ve'im Lechu Ve'ameru Adonai Imloch Le'olam Vaed. Physically, spiritually, we rise for the Adonai, beginning on page 468 in that festival book. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מלחמך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. In Kedusha is on page 476. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. And we may be seated. And we'll continue on page 478. אתה בחרתנו מכל העמים, אהבת אותנו ורצית בנו ורוממתנו מכל הלשונות, וקידשתנו במצוותיך וקרבתנו מלכנו לעבודתך, בשמך הגדול והקדוש עלינו קראת. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה מועדים לשמחה, חגים וזמנים לששון, את יום חג המצות הזה, זמן חירותנו מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. You have chosen us in love and favor by making us holy through your mitzvot and drawing us close to your service, that through us your great and holy name may become known in all the earth. In your love, Adonai our God, you have given us feasts of gladness and seasons of joy, this festival of Pesach, season of our freedom, to unite in worship and recall the exodus from Egypt. We turn the page. On page 480. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu ya'aleh v'yavo v'yizacher zichronenu v'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael avanecha l'tova u'lechen u'lechesed u'lerachamim u'lechayim u'leshalom b'yom chag hamatzot hazeh. Our God and God of our ancestors, be mindful of your people Israel and recall our merit for good and grace, and in loving kindness and compassion for life and peace on this festival of Pesach. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo letova, Amen. Ufokdenu bo livracha, Amen. V'hoshienu bo l'chaim, Amen. This day remember us for well-being, Amen. This day bless us with your nearness, Amen. This day help us to a fuller life, Amen. On page 484. Page 484. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael utfilatam b'ahava tekabel u'tihil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha el karov l'chol korav pnei al avadecha v'chonenu shfoch ruchacha aleinu v'techazena einenu b'shuvcha l'tzion barachamim. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shechinato l'Tzion. And if we turn again to the top of 487. Our ancestors acclaimed the God whose handiwork they read in the mysterious heavens above and in the varied scenes of earth below, in the orderly march of days and nights, of seasons and years, and in the checkered fate of humankind. Lift up your eyes, look up, who made these stars. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulacha na'eh lehodot. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la 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 ya la la. Ya la la. Ya la la la. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. We take a moment for silent prayer and reflection. Ose shalom bimrama, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru ve'imru amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Let's continue on page 558 for the bracha for Hallel. It is good to give thanks to God on this festival, even in the gloom and the rain. At least we're having rain here in Delaware. I don't know what you're getting where you are. Top of 558. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et ha'halel. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvah, commanding us to recite hymns of praise. And we're going to turn to page 562 for a more Passover-themed psalm of praise. Page 562. B'tzeit Yisrael mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am loez. B'tzeit Yisrael mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am loez. Haita Yehuda lekodsho, Yisrael mamshelotav. Hayam Ravianos, Hayarden Yisov le'achor, B'tzeit Yisrael mitzrayim, Beit Yaakov me'am loez. Harim rakdu chelim, Gevod kivnei tzon, Malecha hayam kitanus, Hayarden tisov leachor, B'tzeit Yisrael Mitzrayim, Bet Yaakov me'am loes. Harim tirkdu che'ilim, Givot kivnei tzon, B'tzeit Yisrael Mitzrayim, Bet Yaakov me'am loes. We'll find Aleinu L'Shabeach on page 586. Page 586. And I invite us spiritually, physically to rise. Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, Latet Gedula Liotzer Breshit, Shelo Asanu Kagoye Ha'aratzot, Velo Samanu Kamishpachot Ha'adama, Shelo Sam Chelkenu Kahem, Vegor Aleinu Kechol Hamonam, Vanachnu Korim, Umishtachavim Umodim, Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. We may be seated, and we turn to page 598. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. If you are in any period of mourning, if you have just lost someone in the last 30 days, or someone in the last year, or you are observing a yahrzeit on this Pesach, I invite you to rise at this time. And as we remember them, we remember also those who have died from this pandemic, the martyrs of our people, all those who have died from injustice, as we join together in Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedocho Beit Yisrael, B'agalau v'zman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei Kedusha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. And if you are remembering someone and wish to share their name in the comments on YouTube, feel free to do so. Of course, we remember Howard Sands and David Markell, who were taken from us just this past week. And for all of them, we say, Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. Amen. We're going to conclude our service by turning to, I'll give you the page number in a second, page 666 in our book. The same way we concluded our Seders last night, we will conclude this service, and we'll see you all hopefully for our second night Seder tonight at 5:30. But bottom of page 666. Lishana haba'a, Lishana haba'a b'Yerushalayim. Lishana haba'a, Lishana haba'a, Lishana haba'a b'Yerushalayim. Lishana haba'a, Lishana haba'a b'Yerushalayim. Lishana haba'a, Lishana haba'a, Lishana haba'a b'Yerushalayim. Modim l'simcha, a happy holiday to all of you. We'll see you at